Good morning, brothers and sisters, heathens and goats. I don't know how this is turning out. Might not even be showing up on that side. Having trouble this morning. YouTube troubles. But Matthew 15. There seems to be a lot of confusion and ignoring red words when it comes to that verse. Being condemned to hell so much. Most people don't know God's voice. They don't pay attention to Matthew 15. Let's get right into it. There you go. It's y'all's favorite book, the corrupt Jesuit version. Chapter 15. Now, pay close, very attention to the words on the page, especially these red ones. Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. Yes, they asked, why aren't they washing their hands? And what are they doing? They're transgressing what? The tradition. A tradition of the elders. Didn't say transgressing the law of God. Did not say they're transgressing the law of God. It did not. It said you're transgressing the tradition of the elders. That means their forefathers, not God. Their forefathers. All right, yes, that's the question. The question they asked two. Well, they asked one question. Then they said something else. For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. Yeah, that's what the Pharisees asked. All right, let's go see what Jesus responded to this. But he answered and said unto them, who? Words are read. Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? Huh. So this up here is a transgression of the commandment of God. Why do you people not understand the words Jesus spoke? I'll tell you why. You're following the Pharisees. You're following the same people the Apostle Paul people are following. The Pharisees followed this tradition. And you say, I got to follow that tradition. You people say, I have to follow the tradition of the elders. Well, why shouldn't I listen to the commandment of God? Why should I listen to your tradition and not the commandment of God? Huh? All right, let's continue. You remember they asked this. Well, Jesus did not touch that. Jesus did not answer. He just asked them, why do you transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? He called their tradition a sin. Okay. He didn't call it a sin. What's transgressing mean? You sin. Transgression of the law. There you go. For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me. And honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. Well, he did not even touch their question. He did not answer them. He said, why are you sinning against God? By your tradition. Your tradition is this right here. That's what you stick with. All right, let's go see what else he said to them. Ye hypocrites. Well, now. Well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. The people that are concentrating on this, he called them hypocrites. The people that are concentrating, the Pharisees and the Torah people, you're concentrating on this and condemning others. Jesus called you a hypocrite. He says you don't honor him with your heart. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. The commandments of men. The tradition of the elders. And y'all were sinning against God by doing what these people say do. Now let's see what else he said to these hypocrites. And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. There's your problem. You're hearing, but you're not understanding. You're not understanding because you're relying on the tradition of the elders. You don't want to sin against man, but you have no problem transgression the commandment of God. Okay. So what else he told them hypocrites? Hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man, makes him unclean. Whatever goes into his mouth does not make him unclean, unless it has been sacrificed unto idols. Do you Torah people understand the red words that you claim? That came out of the mouth. How can I say that? They sacrifice it to an idol. They pray over it out of the mouth, over meat. Does it say to eat things sacrificed unto idols and pork? No, it does not. What does he say? Hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. Then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? Yeah, Jesus pretty much said, he didn't answer, look, he did not answer their question. He did not answer about the washing of hands. He did not mention washing hands. He did not. He did not mention washing hands. These fellows did. He never answered their question. He never answered their question. He just asked them, why do you sin against the commandments of God? He never touched this. He never said anything about washing hands and eating bread. He never touched it. Read it. Read it. We just looked at it. He did say, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man. No, he didn't even mention the hands. He did not mention washed or dirty hands at all. He mentioned what goes into the mouth does not make a man unclean. It's what comes out of the mouth. See, the Pharisees got all puffy and run off. Now, let's go hear the explanation. Y'all ignore everything after this verse. After verse 2, y'all ignore everything. Y'all ignore everything till verse. Y'all ignore 10 verses. Y'all just throw these 10 verses slap out of the Bible. Now let's go see what Jesus explained. All right. But he answered and said, words are written, every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. That's what Jesus called you. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Them Torah people are blind. They're blind, just as blind as the Apostle Paul people are, because they're following the same doctrine. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Declare unto us this parable. So the Lord, Jesus said, Lord, explain this to us. And Jesus said, Are ye also yet without understanding? Are you like them? Don't you understand? Okay. Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and is cast out into the drop. All right, let me explain this to you. Y'all want to make it about washed hands? Okay, let's use washed hands. Okay, do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth? Okay, do you put your hands in your mouth? Well, we got to eat. Okay, goeth into the belly. Does your fingers reach down and tickle your belly? Something goes in your mouth and goes into your belly. Okay, let's see what else he says. And is cast out into the draught. Do you understand what that is? What happens when you eat something and a little while later? What happens? It goes to your belly, then it runs around there for a little while, then makes some little S turns down to your large and small intestines. And then what happens? Do your fingers, do your hands, you might want to be washing your hands. I'm telling you that right now. If it's about hands only, you might want to keep them things clean. You might want to keep them out of your mouth. That's better. All right. Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and is cast out into the draught? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile a man. Remember, y'all love to use this verse to prove Apostle Paul wrong in 1 Corinthians 8, but you don't understand what you're saying. Yeah, it proves Saul wrong, but it also proves you wrong, because I don't see pork nowhere. I don't see pork nowhere. We're going to get to that. Yes, we are. Just hold your horses. Hold your pigs. Okay. What goes in your mouth goes in, you digest it, then you populate it out. Okay, what comes out of your mouth comes from your heart. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, and blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. Oh, see, he talked about hands. See, he said to eat with. That's the only verse. That's the only part. Y'all ignore 18 verses and take part of the wow. That's what y'all hold on to. Y'all ignore everything he said. Y'all ignore everything he said except that right there. That's the only thing you hold on to. Out of all this explanation, you know why you don't use this? Because you don't understand what he said. But you will draw nigh unto him with your mouth and honor him with your lips. But your heart is far from him, because you worship him in vain, because you teach doctrines of men. He explained it. Do you poop your hands out every time you eat? Or you might want to start drinking your dinners, because it's pretty nasty. Do you understand anything? You only understand this because you don't have ears to hear. He just sat out here and explained it. You do not understand. No, you do not. You do not understand his words. Now, if pork goes into my mouth, into my belly, and is cast out in the draw, how can you say it makes me unclean? How can you say it makes me unclean? Well, the Lord Jesus says it don't. Or you're just reading into it. No, I'm reading it. I'm not reading into it. I'm reading it. Can you read? Can you read? Won't you study on verse 17 and 18 for a little bit? And do not stop studying on these two verses until you understand. Now, James didn't say pork. He said nothing about pork. Well, they already knew it. We're going to get to that. But Jesus didn't say pork makes you unclean or shrimp makes you unclean or this, that, and the other. Jesus said nothing to the fact. How you doing there, sister? Just check to make sure I was on this. I second guess the Lord, and I'm sorry, Lord. But that's sacrifice to idols and blood. See, something about blood, but Christians love making it a sacrifice. So do Torah people. Now, Acts. We're in the Torah, the corrupt Jewish version, Catholic justified version, corrupt Jesuit version, chapter 10. Now, Luke is given credit to writing this. And wait, where was it? 6 hours. Okay. All he knew about was Saul and his satanic trances. He thought Peter's vision was the same thing. Okay, well, this sounds like Paul's trance when Paul was bowed down worshiping Satan. So I'll just use the same word here because I'm trying to cover for Paul because he's fixing to go to court in a Roman court that he demanded anyway. So Peter saw heaven open and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again, the second time, What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision, not trance, which he had seen should mean. So we got Torah people telling you exactly what Peter meant. Well, how can Torah people tell you exactly what Peter meant when Peter himself didn't know what it meant? How? Well, it's just talking about, once you go read context. Oh, yeah, we're going to. We're going to. And we're going to get more context than this. All right. Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, but I digress. Behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house, and stood before the gate, and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, Behold, 3 men seek thee. Arise and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius, and said, Behold, I am he whom you seek. What is the cause wherefore ye are come? And they said, Cornelius. And they said, Cornelius the centurion, a Roman, a just man, imagine that, righteous, justified, and one that feareth God, and of good report among all the nation of the Jews, was warned from God by an holy angel to send for thee unto his house, and to hear words of thee. All right. So, God sent the Gentiles to Peter. Imagine that. All right, now let's, okay. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it was an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company, or to come unto one of another nation. But God has shewed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. And God said, don't call. Now how did Peter come to that conclusion? Thank you, Lord. I was going somewhere else with this, but yeah. What led Peter to that conclusion? All right, let me see. How did Peter, where was it? How did Peter come to this conclusion? How did Peter come to this conclusion? Can you tell me? Was there anything that happened prior to this conclusion he came to? What happened prior to him to coming to this conclusion? Let's go find out. That was verse 28. Okay, but God has shewed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Now, let's go find out what happened. Okay. Wait. Here's a vision. Okay, while Peter thought on the vision. Okay, let's go up. A vision. Okay, now while Peter doubted himself what this vision which he had seen should mean. Okay, so he didn't know here, but down here in 28, he got a clue. God showed me what people said were unclean ain't unclean. Okay. What God hath cleansed. I've never eaten. Imagine that. Look. Look at here. God sent something down. He said, Here, Peter, if you're hungry, rise, kill, and eat, man. They said, No, they're unclean. They're unclean. Lord, I've never done that. Rise, kill, and eat. Don't call unclean what I cleanse. Now, I'm paraphrasing. Oh, no, Lord, no. I ain't never ate nothing unclean. What I have cleansed, do not call unclean. Kill and eat. So, the conclusion Peter came to was what he should not call, that's all about men. What happened up here? Are you ignoring this? Well, it was just to show them the Gentiles were clean. God sent the Gentiles to Peter. And man called Gentiles unclean. Peter was hungry. God said, man, rise, kill, and eat, Peter. Don't call unclean what I've cleansed. Oh, where's pork? All right. And the evening and the morning were the 4th day. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and the fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl of its kind, of his kind. God saw that it was good. And God blessed them. God blessed them. Blessed what? Every moving critter, bird, fish, everything that he called good. And he blessed them. Okay. Oh, which the waters brought forth abundantly. Okay, that's the water critters and the birds. That was the fifth day. And God said, let the earth bring forth a living creature after his kind. What's in the water and what's in the air? Birds and shrimp. After his kind, cattle and creeping thing and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. Repeat. Let's read that together. 3, 2, 1. And God saw that it was good. And God said, oh, he didn't bless them. You don't think he's going to bless everything? He didn't bless every creeping thing? Well, and God blessed them. Well, that was just Adam and Eve. So he blessed shrimp and vultures, but didn't bless cows and pigs. Or why are you eating lamb? He didn't bless lamb. He didn't bless cows. But everything he made was good. Everything he made was good. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. There you go. So y'all want to condemn people to hell for something you don't understand. Let's go read something. And of every living thing of all flesh, every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee, and they shall be male and female. Let's go get full context. There we go. We know what it is. It's Noah's Ark. Of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. That's bugs. He just mentioned cows and fowls. So vultures. Pigs and sheep and goats, they creep upon the earth. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. 2. Okay, where am I going with this? Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7s. What? And of the beasts that are not clean by 2. Wait a minute. And of the fowls by 7s? Huh? 7s? For 7 days? For yet 7, okay. By 7s? By 7s? By 7s? Really? 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 How come this was no good? Oh, there's no odd laws. Well, you know what we're reading back here? It says 2. In the very next chapter, it says by 7s. Just the uncleans by 2s. That ain't what verse 6 said. That ain't what verse 6 said. Verse 6 said everything by twos. Of every living thing, of all flesh, two of every sort. I don't see sevens. Who y'all listening to? Well, God works in sevens. Yes, he does. Well, who am I listening to? Who are we listening to? I see contradictions in your law. This is before Exodus. You know, Genesis is before Exodus. So, where was that? Oh yeah. Upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea, in your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Why is a contradictory Genesis trusted when it says by sevens and twos? But this part of Genesis ain't. And the main thing is, how come this right here outweighs everything else? I don't care what Genesis says. Well, you know, you know what I mean, Lord. How come this has no clout in the game? These words have no clout in the game. It's just here where it contradicts itself. It says two, and it says by sevens, but you say no. But Jesus says eat. Just stay away from sacrifice and blood. This has no clout in your game. You do not trust these words. You don't. Oh, wait. That's the only words you trust. And for folks to condemn people to hell for trusting Jesus Christ, you're no better than the Apostle Paul people. You call me a stupid Southerner, sir. I'd love to talk. We know that's never going to happen. You silence me over there, and we know you never coming here. And the rest of you folks in the description, you used to talk to you. Well, two of you. You used to talk to a couple of you regularly. Once I started studying the Torah and tried to show y'all the very same things I've seen, turn into Apostle Paul people and condemn me to hell. And this ain't about me. I'm just wanting to call you out on your hypocrisy and see if I can start a dialogue between us, you know, friendly, open Bible study. How come Jesus Christ's words have no clout in your doctrine? Matthew 15. I've tried showing that to other people. I get silenced. I get called stupid, a stupid Southerner, with a very, very derogatory attitude and fake accent to mimic a stupid hick. Can't give up his pork. Then you laugh. Sir, please, there's no need to mention the male and female sexual organs as much as you do. That was disgusting. I didn't want to watch the stream prior to that one. I was silenced. But I was told, no, and that one was pretty decent. Even though I wasn't paying your attention to your vulgar talk, there was people in there listening about how the Torah is corrupt, about how Moses was told to kill a man for gathering sticks on the Sabbath. People in that previous stream was paying attention, not to me. They went and looked the verses up, and they went and looked it up. And we saw the responses in the stream. They were saying, yeah, well, people say, I was wondering why it's a little bit shady or something to that effect. You're following a flawed doctrine, sir. And I'm trying to be as humble as I can be, but you tick me off, and I'm not letting my flesh override the message I'm trying to get through to the people. And it's not my message. We just sat here and read Matthew 15. We read Genesis. We read Acts. And we read Revelation. And we read James. But the main words are the red words in Matthew 15, which Christians only accept that much of that parable because they don't understand any of it else. When I eat, these fingers stay on these hands. They do not. Why do y'all not understand that? I thought this was about Jesus Christ. Paul people and the Torah people tossed Jesus out of his own story and followed the traditions of men. One more thing I want to look at. I'm going to check the chat here in a minute. I just got to. Idols. Don't get all uppity there, Paul people. All right, there's one. There is no direct statement on the subject by Jesus in the New Testament. The story of Jesus feeding fish to people would support the view that Jesus may have been a fish eater, meat eater, I guess. I don't know. And yes, I know in Genesis, we were probably originally meant to be, which one was it? Meant to be vegetarian. You see? That's the Noah deal. Oh, I've already. Might have been two. Anyway, he said that he's what was it? I gotta see it now. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It's right here. We were probably originally to be vegetarians. See, creation sinned, and he cursed the snake above the cattle of the field. You don't think Mr. Goat knew he wasn't humping a goat? Come on. Creation sinned. How'd they get animal critters, animal people? They were disgusting. They corrupted creation. Would it be better if we ate vegetables? Probably. Are we going to go to hell for eating meat? Well, depends on if it's sacrificed to idols or not. You know, you got to take Revelation into account, man. This is that one person that always condemns meat eaters to hell, especially pork eaters. Well, I've tried asking you this question. How come you don't say meat? To eat meat. You're being condemned because you eat meat. No, you're eating things sacrificed to idols. How do you sacrifice things to idols? You kill it. And you eat it. Meat. Everything was cursed. And it talks about why. Idols. There's, do I still got that over? Did I close it? Christian, okay. Who cares what PETA says? PETA is a bread. That's what PETA says because they want to sell more bread. That's funny to me, anyway. It was something to do with food law. It was added. Where was it? I thought I had that one open. Yeah, compassion towards animals. Say, that's what I'm saying. We probably were, but okay. Arose. So this is a problem God did not know about. God didn't know this. This came in after. This came in after. So God had no idea. Every living thing he made was not very good. It was not very good. Wow. Huh. A problem God didn't foresee. If you'd read Matthew 15 and read Matthew 15, you will hopefully understand his words. It'd be nice to talk to some of you folks, but you know it's not going to help. Yeah, well, I ain't sure, but there's so much I've heard about that. Yeah, I'm a self-taught about a lot of that too. There's a lot of stuff to go with. Huh? Fearing the Lord or the devil? I don't know. I can't answer on that. But yeah, this eating meat stuff, it's misunderstood by the Torah people. They're gonna condemn people to hell for something they don't understand themselves. You know, I don't understand everything, but I can read that parable and know when I eat a barbecue sandwich, these fingers are still on these hands. You know where the barbecue sandwich is? Hopefully some still stuck in my teeth so I can eat it later, but it's already in the belly. Barbecue pork goes into my belly, floats around there a little while, then you know, the burp. Sometimes it tastes good, sometimes it don't. Then it makes some little S-turns in my intestines, and then it goes out in the drop. Why is that so hard to understand? Do your fingers? Folks might want to wash your fingers a little bit. But see if I see that one. Okay. But yeah, any of y'all I've tagged or anybody else want an open Bible study? Let's talk. I can be as humble as the Lord allows me. I pray to be humble and somber as I can be, just like I am now. But it'd be nice to talk to people that claim Jesus. And I want to ask, why am I condemned to hell? What don't you understand about Matthew 15? Why do you call God's critters unclean when he says no? He calls them very good. Why do you concentrate on that much of the verse when there's that much of the verse above it, parable above it? Wow, that thing is getting it today. But open Bible study, anybody? Be nice. No, I mean, I know a lot of other things I'd rather be doing than be condemned to hell. But got a lot of stuff to be doing. Had some fun last week. Got some more videos to upload. But who do you trust? 3 words: Matthew and John, and Luke and Mark, or the Torah, or Paul. It's that simple. Who do you trust? That's humbling. I thank you, but don't trust anything I say. Don't trust a thing I say. Take it to scripture and pray to the Lord yourself, you know. That's humbling, it is. All right. But God bless. May the Lord open eyes and ears. Because you know we only got half a verse left now. We just waiting for that fire to come down from heaven. That's what I think. We might not be completely surrounded yet. We get there. God bless.